So we're going to melt our chocolate for our dipping chocolate. I've got everything I need. I've got a bowl, a pot with filled halfway with water. I've got what's called a shortener. In this case, I'm using coconut oil. You can use butter, margarine, anything that falls into the food group called fats or oils that is solid at room temperature. Okay, you can use vegetable oil or cooking oil. I don't recommend it though. You want something that's solid at room temperature, not liquid, okay? So I got my shortener, I got my chocolate, I got my wax paper set up. That's important as well, okay? Now, what I've created here is a double boiler. So, it's got a pot at the bottom with a little bit of water and a bowl at the top. The reason I've created this is when you heat up the water, it boils, evaporates, turns into steam, and then escapes out the side. The steam keeps the bowl warm. But the reason we have this pot over here with the water in between the flame and the bowl is because we don't want this bowl to get too hot, because the chocolate's going to be in here, and if the chocolate gets too hot, we're going to burn it. Okay, chocolate is very finicky. Okay, it takes a lot of care. Now, talking about chocolate, when we're melting chocolate, it's very, very, very important we try and keep as much water away from the chocolate. We don't want any water. So you make sure the bowl that you're putting the chocolate in is dry. Make sure the spoons that you're using to mix and add the shortener, it's all dry. We do not want water, because what happens when you add water to the chocolate is it just basically seizes. It goes solid and it goes grainy, like there's a sandy sort of texture to it. So it's not very nice, okay? So this is why we have the double boiler. You need to keep as much moisture away as possible. And what you'll notice is steam, when this is boiling, steam is going to be shooting out the sides. We don't want that steam to be going in, so be very careful of that. Okay, so right here we have our chocolate pieces and our shortening, and I've got the water at a simmer, okay, not boiling, at a simmer. I don't want the water to boil too quickly, because then it is going to heat up the bowl quite quickly, all right? Remember, with this, we just want to keep the temperature as low as possible. And what you'll see is it starts to melt at the bottom, and you just got to keep stirring it. Keep stirring all of this round. Okay, so keep it at a simmer, keep stirring it. Okay, so boys, what you should see now is that the chocolate has become very smooth. There are no lumps left. I have continued to stir it, and the temperature is very low. Now we're ready for dipping. The problem is we can't just dip these straight in, okay, because we use so much water in the process of making them. If we start dipping them in, the first 5 or 10 will work perfectly, but after a while the chocolate will begin to seize. So what we need to do is take a spoon and ladle it over. That looks good. All right, ladle it over, make sure everything's covered. It drips back in. Okay. And then we transfer to the wax paper. Okay. And then we do our next one. Alright boys, here's the final product of some of them. That big thing in the middle is a honeycomb. That's another project, you can do it later. As you can see, there's a chunk on the right where I kind of just dumped it in to absorb the last little bit of chocolate. But this is it. I hope you had fun, hope it turned out well, and if it didn't, I hope you still enjoyed it. Remember to keep these in an airtight container in a dry place, and enjoy.